So you two can clearly hear me or you can come. I know them up, right? So student from the Zoom, can you hear me clearly? Zoom එකෙන් join වෙලා ඉන්න ළමයි ඔයාලට මාව එනවා නේද? Can please anyone please type yes, yes. Right. So this lecture, so Moni, I think you have learned about e-commerce, m-commerce, and ERP systems, right? And so, what do you have learned? So what are those e-commerce and say ERP system? Anyone? Application, so okay. So in they are so to explain what are e-commerce and commerce or ERP system, you need to give a more elaborate answer, right? Okay. So so what do you think? What was the era that those applications were famous or mean a trend among all over all over the world or among other information systems? So today lecture is about emerging technologies. So that means current trend and the future, right? So what is your idea about this? So students from the Zoom, you also can answer. So what will be the current future and so you have learned about ERP systems today, and what do you think? What was the era that those systems were being in a trend? Trend means actually, if you aware of those systems frequently, and then there should be at least a particular trend, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලා ඒ softwares ගැන සාමාන්‍යයෙන් නිතරම ඇහෙනවා නම්, right? ඒක එතකොට අපිට දන්න පුළුවන් generally. I'm not asking for a detailed answer, but I'm asking for your common knowledge. So what is your knowledge about those information systems and the future of information systems? So in this particular subject, so you have learned, I think, from the hardware components as well, right? Very first lectures, you have learned about what are the hardware components and then the software components, then the business information systems, to database systems, internet. So this particular course will cover, I think, all over the technologies that we were used and we currently using and that we will be going to use in future, right? So today lecture is about those future technologies, right? So I need some kind of feedback, right? Do you know what will be the future? What is your thoughts? So basically, you are answering all questions, right? So, what your thought? What will be the future? Right. So, yes, talking about AI's technologies, right? So there are now, you may aware, there are a lot more than AI technologies are currently used. So maybe 1992 or something like that. They are the first, as I'm aware, the first AI based system. That is that, I think, the particular TV series about a car that is speaking. No, the car can jump. Right, Night Rider, right? Right. So that 1992 people imagine this will be a particular future, right? So do you aware of Tesla cars? Do you uh, like do you see those videos about autopilot and self-driving and all? දැකලා තියෙනවා. Right? Do you ever had the idea how those are created? කියන ඔයා කොහොමද හදන්නේ කියලා idea එකක් තියෙනවා. දැකලා Yeah, it's like here in the end road. Yeah. I think you have something to say. No? I here cover. AI. Data ගොඩක් feed කරලා train. Yeah, that is the some brief idea that you are aware. So currently AI those AI models they need lot of data, right? So yeah, I think we have some of these technologies as well that we're going to learn today. So however, so in this particular lecture we are covering some basic topics, right? So there are so that what I want to say, this is not the end. So there can be many technologies. This is very up to date area, right? So the first part that I'm going to talk about is virtual reality. So as you mentioned, there is a lot of data to train such kind of model, right? So what do you think? How those data is gathered? කොහොමද මේ data අපි gather කරගන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ නිකන් හිතන්නකො self driving car එක. self driving car එකට මොන වගේ data ද ඕන? Right, GPS is one thing. So I will give that answer, right? But actually what will happen in AI model is we need to introduce that model is how that particular problem is solved, or at least for some extent, right? Then the model will be able to predict the outcome or predict some output based on some unseen data, right? ඒ කියන්නේ අපි යාට දෙන්න ඕනේ data. එයාට කුරුදු කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මෙහෙම වුණොත් මෙහෙම වෙනවා. හරි. එයාට ඒ විදිහට ඔක්කොම ටික පෙන්නුවාට පස්සේ එයා අන්තිමට මොකක් හරි දැකමු නැති data එකක් තිබ්බොත් එයා ඒක සාමාන්‍ය පොඩි error එකක් එක්ක එයාට predict කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. දැන් මට මේකේ what I want to highlight is that we need to feed those data, right? So when it's come to the those self-driving cars, we need to actually drive the car and give you all the details, right? About the thinking patterns and rules and regulations, right? Behind everything we need to feed, right? So let's say if we gave those information in real world, so I think if you watch those videos, there were some camera, lot of cameras are installed to the particular vehicle, and one professional driver is driving the car, and then we can gather all the data, right? That one particular thing. But when it comes to these VR technologies, right? There were by using those. I think I have already explained some of these, right? By using a simulated environment, that means a virtual reality world, right? We can. What we need is we need to create those physics engines, and then it will simulate the whole world as it is, right? Then in that simulated world, what we can do is we can gather all that required data, right? That's something now being trained on, right? So here, that particular thing is not actually discussed, but so that is one aspect that is currently working here. So here, I'm giving the basic some normal idea about like we can integrate into this VR world, and so it is computer generated and three dimensional world, right? So as I mentioned, those simulation interaction means that we are interacting with this world, and immersive. That means we are in some kind of different world in this virtual reality and telepresence. That means we are we are in a some physical room, but in virtual world we can go anywhere, and even we can't we can communicate with other persons that in the VR world. So meta is something like this, right? Network communication, full body immersion. That means there are some haptic tools, right? Some suit also being created, and it's, let's say we touch something in that particular VR world, we are receiving that haptic information as ඔබලා දැකලා තියෙනවද ඒ වගේ haptic tools, some glouses are there, දැකලා තියෙනවද? no glouses තියෙනවා, suits තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට අර ඒ මේ එහෙම ටච් එකක් හරි මොකක් හරි ආවහම ඒක අපිට ඇත්තටම ෆීල් වෙනවා. දැන් එහෙම ටෙක්නොලොජිස් තියෙනවා, right? So there are two concepts. That means like let's say those signals, right? They can get in from our ears and eyes and our skin. We can receive those information through that, but some others by using those neural link from Tesla, right? So what they are doing is they are plan to create some kind of a chip that will going to plug into our brain. So from that chip, we can feel those sensation, right? So there are two things. So in VR world, both those research areas are currently trending, right? So type of virtual environment. So ego-centric environment is that uh, the it is the whole the world is in a simulation. So next slide you can see like this some head-mounted gear or head-mounted display. By using those head-mounted display, we can interact with that egocentric environment. And another concept is the egocentric environment. That means it is rendered into a 3D display like our monitor, and we can see only our screen, and like 3D graphics software are there. So there are some other tools as well. This is about VR. So there are some several terms. So one is augmented reality. So do you know what is that augmented reality? Augmented reality. Hmm. So in simple terms, augmented reality means we are still in our universe, right? Not in a virtual world. We are still in our world, and some of the tools, let's say this uh, whiteboard or our chairs or something, those can be augmented by using these VR technologies, right? So we can augment this into maybe a tree or something, and we can show some video as well by using those augmented Really. So I think, as I remember, Apple is currently doing a particular project named Vision Pro, right? To create kind of a headgear like this, and there are several layers of cameras are there that will direct uh, get the images, so generate the virtual our actual world in that inside the that headgear, and by using that world we can augment it some particular thing, like we can augment that screen as well in that Vision Pro. So I think yeah, one of Sri Lankan also working on that particular project was a lecturer, I guess, from University of Moratu. Now he's working in Apple, right? And that augmented reality is that particular thing, and there are several other terms, mixed reality, likewise. So you can learn about these those terms. So here I'm only mentioned. So there are such tools also currently. Some applications are currently also in the process. So military flight simulation. So actually, I'm not got a particular source, but I heard this story like so. I think last year Russia attacked Ukraine, right? So before that attack, Russian army used yeah GTAB role play to simulate the Ukraine that environment and how they are going to manage those attacks and plan those things. So that also a particular thing that was used. So here military flight simulation. So I think yeah, now all the pilots are trained using those simulated environments, right? So anyone who have played Euro Truck Simulation, all games, Euro Truck, yeah. So there are several such tools. So enterprise simulation and one major thing. So there is some particular research that I have read. Is about there is a like not it's cannot say a physical problem, but some person that may injured from the war or due to a disaster or something. Some have not have their limbs or do not have their arm and all. So such kind of a person have a disease that he can feel something is itching in their limb, but that limb is actually not physically present. Can it? සමහර ඔය යුද්ධ නිසා හරි හරි disasters හරි මොනවා හරි ඉඳ ඔය අතපය නැති වෙච්ච අය ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට සමහරවල් දැනෙන නිකන් කහනවා වගේ. ඒ කියන්නේ නැති වෙච්ච අත. ඒ කියන්නේ හිතන්නකො දකුණු අත නැහැ. They do not have their right. They can feel that limb actually is present and is itching, right? So one of the researchers have introduced this concept where they can see that particular limb or let's say right hand, right? They can actually see by using those augmented reality technologies, and if it is itching, they can actually can they can they can treat for those problems. by using those VR technologies, right? So I think you can go and search about those things and some of the operations. So some uh, physicists and will train by using these VR technologies. They can immersively see about human body and even the mechanics. So I think in Australia there are some companies uh, they will use those VR technologies to see and train mechanics to how to unplug those engines and all. Right. So you can search more about these things. So any of you have such particular experience? කාටරි VR world එක experience තියෙනවා? No? එහෙම නැහැ. VR පාවිච්චි කරන එක්කෝ එකේ මොකක්ද තිබුණේ? ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර කරලා නැද්ද මේ නිකන් එහෙම තියනවා නිකන් පොඩි දඬු පාලමක් වගේ. ඊට පස්සේ අර HCR එක දාගෙන අපිට එතන ඇවිදින්න තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මේ පැත්ත බැලුවම අර ලොකු නිකන් ප්‍රපාතයකට වගේ යන්න තියෙනවා. එහෙම එහෙම ඒවා කියලා. ඒක ඇත්තටම යනකොට ඒ ෆීලිං එක ඒ විදිහට වෙනවා. Right. Uh, so I think you maybe in third year or something you have I think game development, right? So in that course, not sure. In my undergraduate time, I did that course, and there we need to create those virtual books, and yeah, in there are some of the tools that we can create by our own. I think its name was Google Cardboard, where you need to create some kind of lenses and some head here and mount, and then you can use your mobile phone to get that experience, right? Please search about Google Cardboard and what is that, so you can get that particular experience. And those VR boxes, I think you can purchase also where you need to plug or mount your mobile phone, and mobile phone need to have those capability, right? Accelerometer and gyroscope. Yes, I guess. If the mobile phones have those accelerometer and gyroscope, then you can interact with the virtual reality, right? So this is some particular aspect, and the next thing is artificial intelligence. So this is actually another large domain. So here I will discuss about some of the areas. So students from the Zoom, you can hear me, right? I got a message saying there is an internet connection problem. You can hear me clearly, right? Please let me know if you can't properly hear me. So as I mentioned, in 1992, I guess that night ride was introduced, right? So that is one particular thing in our childhood that we have dreamed of, but now actually those are present, right? Those there are several chatbots also. So I think you all are using ChatGPT. So anyone use Llama? Llama කවුරු අහලා තියෙනවද Llama? Hugging Face library එකට කවුරුහරි ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවද? So Hugging Face ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවද ඒක ලාමා ගැන දන්නවද? So I mean yeah, when you are doing your research and also you will need to go through about those things. So llama is the currently based large language model. So you can even pre-train that model also to your particular task. It's up to you to find out. So in artificial intelligence, that what we actually need is to we are not going to replace humans here, but what we are trying to do is simulate humans by using these artificial intelligence technologies, right? So in our early days, right, we are very abstract to robots, right? So I think right, we are robotics. So our actually what we are need to do is not going to in AI technologies, what we need was simulate the human behavior. So including speaking, thinking, feeling, and reasoning, right? So in early days, so this is not actually not a current trending as well, but there is a concept called this knowledge engineering, right? So what they are doing is they are uh, trying to extract those rules and expert knowledge, right? So by they thought if you can create some kind of a database kind of thing, it is called knowledge base, where it has those all rules and all the domain knowledge for a particular problem, right? So those are actually captured by using these things, right? So let's take a particular thing, whiteboard or something. We can question this. What is it and what if, right? So likewise, what we are doing is are trying to get the concept of that model, and after that, if we capture the whole the information relevant to that particular models, and then we can create those databases. So I will explain in those in more details. So after that, after we creating those knowledge, then there are several applications we can create. So early days, this was one particular thing, that means robotics, right? So nowadays, as I remember the Toyota workshops. So all the industries automated by using this robotics technology, from paint in the car to or a manufacturer. So I think humans are involved in those integration processes, where those engines are created to the main integrate to the fixed main body. Likewise, in some specialized areas are still doing by the humans, but let's say paint in the body and all those are done by using those automated robotics and robotics arms, like that. So currently they can perform well in simple repetitive tasks. So, so I asked this particular problem where what is the goal of the actual robotic? Is it to simulate all the human, like that particular robot can do all the things that are done by a human, or in other words, creating several models or several robots that are capable to doing one particular task, right? So if you are in Sri Lanka, we are not using those tools like, very openly, but in let's say you are watching those movies and all, you will see about there's a particular small robot that go through everywhere in the floor and collecting all the dust and those garbage, right? කියන්නේ මෙහෙම පොඩි simple robot කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. එයා නිකන් මේ floor එකේ මෙහෙම යනවා හැමතැනම. එයා විසිය අතරම යන කරට එයා යන්නේ. ඊළා ඒ dust තියෙන ඒවා කොළ කෑලි. ඒ ඔක්කොම එයා අහුල ගන්නවා. අහුලගෙන ඊට පස්සේ we need to mention where is the garbage bin and all. He will collect those garbage and put to that garbage bin. And after that, he'll go to sleep where the place which is going to charge that particular robot, right? ඒ වගේව දැකලා තියෙනවා. පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක් ඔය පිට රටවල් වල especially in Canada, Australia, in those houses they are using those tech robots and all to do their small tasks. So as mentioned, currently used mainly on assembly lines. So assembly line is the, as I mentioned, those Toyota vehicle assembly and many assembly lines. So I think you can't see that. So do you know her? Sophia? Right? I think she got the score. Good. I think the citizenship from the Dubai she got, right? So as I remember, she is now a citizen in Dubai, I guess. So it is a humanoid robot, and so as I mentioned, there are such kind of robots that are specialized to each task, and some robots like this. So I to answer you to that particular question, there I asked some industry person that what is their goal, right? Creating such kind of a humanoid robot where that robot can do everything that done by a human. No, do they need to create those specialized robots to do some certain task? So what inside yours they are going to analyze psychologically and ethically and their business is and they are all work more. It's actually the areas very large, right? So they need to answer that every area, and then they can the participate part. So let's say there is a robot, right? And that robot can understand human feelings, right? And the robot then acts as organ to those human feelings, right? So there is a critical question that can we pass those emotions because those emotions are programmed, right? So they act according to the humans of the interacting person, right? So can we trust? Can let's take another organic attack. එයාව අපිනේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් කරලා තියෙන්නේ right ඒකට අපිට පුළුවන්ද මේ ඒ කතා කරන රොබෝගේ ෆීලිං කියන්නේ ඒවා ට්‍රස්ට්ද ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක ඇත්තද එයා ඒ පෙන්නන ඉන්නේ ඇත්තද කියලා අපිට අපි කරන්න පුළුවන් right so this is some kind of a research project that is currently doing because with those image recognition technologies and all, we can actually mimic the or actually predict the emotions as well, and then the robots and those models can act according to that models, right? So you can search about those things, and so when you're over here where you need to do your research, so you can find out so what is your more suitable area. So I am giving some of the facts here. So do you have anything add to about this robotics? And so I think so he's from Kalara, is from SC, right? COCS. So he's done, I think, some Arduino programs and all. So anyone of you do you have any experience for Arduino? You know, or මොනවද කරලා තියෙන වගේ experience පොඩ්ඩක් share කරගන්න කැමතිද? robot car එක. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමද ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ? එතකොට යාට path එක හරියට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්ද? එතකොට ඒ algorithm එකක් ඔයා decide කරාද නැත්නම් තිබිච්ච එකක් ගත්තද කොහොමද? I think right. I don't know that you have the data structures and algorithm subject. So it is done in your second semester. In there are several algorithms to find out the shortest path. So in there you can learn about how to program and all, and what is those algorithms about. So one such algorithm is the extra algorithm, find the shortest path. So you can search about those things. Right. Right. So this is the another topics. Data expert systems. So before this ChatGPT and chatbot era, many actually companies use this expert system to get an idea or some advice for their company needs, or how they need to act according to their current problems. So this is also one successful technology, but actually it is, as I guess, it is not currently very trending, because ChatGPT and those large language models actually can do better. But the theory behind this is very true. So this also consists of programs that mimic human thought behavior, right? So according to our problems and all, they can give a particular expert idea, and those systems created for a very specific domain by using human expert in that particular domain, and as I mentioned, with the help of knowledge engineers. Here, work with heuristic means work with the rules and those facts. So according to the given rules and facts, so they go through those rules, and then they can give a particular output. So there are several components. So knowledge acquisition facility means yes, right. So knowledge acquisition facility, in that they have those knowledge engineers and the expert in that particular domain. And what they are doing is they are capturing the rules and facts about that particular problem. Let's say uh, right, how to reduce the traffic in Kalambu or Nugegoda area, right? So there are uh, there will be several experts, let's say traffic police and some people live in that particular area, and they can discuss with those knowledge engineers. Will discuss from them, and they capture what are the relevant areas by using those what and those sections and all. So what they are capturing was those rules and facts, and according to those rules and facts, and they can create the knowledge base. So knowledge base included those rules and facts in a semantic manner. That means in some kind of a word formatting. So it should be a some particular method. So if you in fourth year, as I mean, remember there is subject called logic programming, where you need to learn about how to create the knowledge base and with using those rules and facts. So there are several programming languages are there. So some such programs are Prolog, and there are several. So the difference is, so currently I think, do you learn about the programming language first semester now, right? So it's good. Let's say even start with Python or some simple language. So your CIS1082 friends are learning C. It is good to learn C because it has all the things that are relevant for a actual programming, and they are you need to take it, the memory and garbage clearing and all are there. But let's say for start and for beginners, so Python is good because it's a very simple language, and you can write codes as a pseudocode there. And the other benefit is in many those artificial intelligence tools are based on Python language, because it is very easy to communicate with data and all. But they are to interact with lots of data. Right? So that is one problem. But okay, and even I also use Python for creating those such tools. So today you will see that some of the system that I created, so I show them as well, right? So as I mentioned, so those knowledge engineers and those experts are in this knowledge acquisition facility. So what they are doing is they are creating this knowledge base. So knowledge base include factual knowledge. That means those data, right? Heuristic knowledge. That means those rules and those theories behind the that particular problem. And meta knowledge. Meta knowledge is knowledge created inside uh, this problem, right? So it is belong to that specific problem. And then the other component is knowledge-based management system. So in there, what will happen is those management system will manage this knowledge, and through these systems we can update them. It's not here, I guess. By using this knowledge-based management system, we can update even change some particular knowledge according to the current situation. So we can be up to date for that particular problem with this knowledge-based management systems. And there are other things, explanation facility. That means with the help of this inference engine, I will explain what that is, and with the help of those inference system knowledge base. So explain facility will explain why that let's say our expert system predict some output, right? With these inference engines and knowledge base. So explain facilities there are to explain why that particular output is taken, right? So it will help to the user to see why that particular problem or why that particular answer is given to that particular problem. So inference engine is actually doing the task. So it is actually the art of this expert system uh, by using these forward chaining and backward chaining technologies. So forward chaining means by using the data-driven approach. So that means according to the data, it can able to predict the output, and the backward chaining means by considering the final goal, it can able to predict the what we need to done next, right? So it will give you the expert task with the help of this knowledge base where has the knowledge for that particular problem. So as I mentioned, for reducing traffic in Nugegoda, it has all the rules, facts, and all the data in knowledge base. So forward chaining and backward chaining, that is where the actually the answering is happening. Which are the rules are taken and which are the data that we are taking, and with the by using the goal is reducing the traffic, right? So explanation facility will explain. Let's say it mentioned that we are one say some of the part need to be a one way, right? Then we can expert system predict it, then it can solve or reduce some kind of traffic, and experience facility will say why it's going to help, right? Likewise, right? So these are some areas that use this expert system: airline industry, forensic lab, so banking and finance, even education. So I think yeah, this is a homework for you where you can Google search and see what are the example of those expert facilities in each industry, airline, forensic, bank, education. So you need to search and find out what are the things or what are the examples for such systems. So then you need to be aware of why we need to use this kind of expert system. So as mentioned here, so expert system will identify the possibility of using those rules, and especially for expert ideas mentioned here. So we need to have some actual humans. So expert 1, 2, 3 here is the human expert for that particular problem. But the thing is, let's say there are 10 people, so they can predict several ideas, and through the expert system, we can take the most possible answer. So as mentioned, can represent rules or heuristic or rule means. So for a particular problem, as mentioned in this expert system, there will be several rules that we need to follow. So it can be presented as the knowledge. So another thing is, so decision or task has already been handled successfully. So, but as I mentioned here, so humans should be able to uh, successfully handle acts to some extent. So uh, then we can use this expert system because we are taking the same knowledge of that expert. As mentioned here, tasks requires consistency and standardization. So that means it will need to keep update and there should be a particular stand. In that case, we can use this expert system. And one special thing, domain should be limited, right? So as I mentioned, to reduce traffic in Giggle. So let's say that is traffic in all the content. So it can do maybe up to one extent, but the domain should be limited. So like it can't do everything at once, but we can create many expert systems for that specific problem. And it should have some quiet number of rules and some quiet complex logic. Right. So here I mentioned that we have to not use expert system. So if there are very few rules or too many rules, then the expert system actually cannot do or not going to give a very accurate answer. And one other thing is scarcity of expert in the organization. So that means, so let's say for a particular problem, so there are less number of experts, right? So they need to be attended to and every other company problems and all that. So if they have a mechanism to capture their particular knowledge to a machine, right? Then we can't use the same knowledge to keep forward to the time, right? So the expert person can identify other problems. So that's why the expert system is very useful. So as I mentioned, so if there are too many rules, so that means let's say there are thousands of rules. So the expert system, it is then it will be unable to find out what is the most suitable task. So if there are only few rules also, then actually we do not need those expert system, and expert system actually will fail because it needs to have some kind of rules or some kind of complex logic to have a better accuracy. So as mentioned, the problems are, let's say, numerical and well structured. That means by some kind of algorithm, we can solve the problem. Then we do not need these expert systems. So too wide and shallow. So too wide means the problem is a very large problem. So as I mentioned, the solving the or reducing the traffic in the all the let's say all the globe. So it is too wide. So shallow means it is very small. So let's say reduce the traffic inside the campus. Right. So that may be a very shallow problem. So yeah, you can see this argument amongst but so if the problem solved by better so even better then actually again we do not need to have so this system, right? So expert system consists of, as I mentioned, rules and text about the particular problem in that area. So those are captured by knowledge engineers and humans. There should be some humans who are expert into that particular area, right? So we take about some current large language models, right? So what are the rules there? So if you are aware of how the ChatGPT works, and to some limited idea about the ChatGPT works, then you may know. No idea. So ChatGPT actually there are no such rules, right? It has everything as it is. විතරයි දැන් අපි ChatGPT 4 එක ගත්තොත් ඒකේ image තුනක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ data එක ඒ විදිහටම තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Right? So that's why since the data is as it is and then we see the answers, right? So it can able to predict with more higher accuracy compared with this expert system. So that's why actually these systems are now not in a trend, but those are chatbot applications, right? So let's find out. So
Supplementary cards for your loved ones or for a lower limit.
his speaker's name. So this application created by
What are the
in our
features
laboratory.
of Visa Gold Card?
Visa underscore.
What are the features of Visa Gold Card?
Can you hear? No.
Visa underscore gold underscore card features emergency hospitalization limit enhancement facility, seasonal discount and offers, supplementary cards for your loved ones or for a lower limit, 0% interest installment plans, up to 24 months, easy settlement plan, up to 24 months, 50% cash advances once a month, if balance is available. Lane interest-free credit period. Minimum 22 days and maximum 52 days. 24 hours customer service 1975.
Credit limit?
Visa underscore gold underscore card credit underscore limiters. 50,000 250,000 rupees.
So I think I have this into the channel also. So actually I can't give the IP address now because this is a project that we are done to the VOC. So it is still at the testing purpose, testing state, and there are a lot more other things also need to be improved, like the voice recognition, and we are now extending to the local languages as well. So yeah, I can show you that one.
ආයුබෝවන්
ආයුබෝවන් කොහොමද මම ඔබට සහාය විය යුත්තේ?
මම අලුත් ඉතුරු කිරීමේ ගිණුම් ආරම්භ කිරීමට කැමැතියි.
අපි ගාව තුන් කිරීමේ කිහිපයක් තියෙනවා. ඔබ කැමති කුමන වර්ගයටද?
විශේෂයක්
Right. So in this model, actually the speech recognition model, ASR is created by me, and the what is called conversational AI, that is the chatbot. So it is actually text-based chatbot, where we give a text and then the bot will be asked. So here this chatbot can able to interact with the singer, right? And if we give something, then the bot will give a particular answer to our question. And after that, we have used the text-to-speech engine that also created in our laboratory, in our University of Columbus School of Computing. So there I work as a research assistant back in 2 years time. So in there we have developed this every component. So this is actually before the GPT. So no and large language model is used here, and several other applications. So speech recognition is model created by me, and text-to-speech model, it's also created inside the laboratory. So in this particular voice that you heard, so it is actually the voice of our member. So I think, so I will show you those answers. So you go to this superset.lk site. So you will able to use these models. So voice to text, actually this is you cannot access due to some security reason, where this is need to be able to access our mic, right? So currently these are hosted in UCSC servers. So we had some firewall issue that we cannot stream our mic data due to some firewall problems. So you cannot use this voice to text, but other models, it's TTS and other models, and even this spell checker, those can be used. So I think this is only the spell checker model. So you can check your spelling, single spelling, using these models. So there are a lot more services also available. So actually, after your fourth year in your research, after that, maybe you can contribute your local languages. So even for Tamil also, you can do create these such applications. So one particular thing is, as we are Sri Lankans, we are only able to help our language. So if you don't know the Pali language, right? So we are considering itself under a dead language, right? So if you search through, there are thousands more than content available for Pali rather than Sinhala in internet, right? So Pali is not going to be a dead language, but don't know Sinhala maybe. This is actually the current state, right? So what? That's some kind of a thing that those meta words and those AR technologies now it is created. And if we didn't create our services for our languages, so maybe after 100 years time also, those models are not there, then Sinhala is going to, not sure, going to last very long. So, so this ETS you can go to it. And there is this one as a this OCR. OCR means if you put a photo and upload to this OCR. OCR means optical character recognition. In there, you can get the Unicode font, right? So let's say some songs are written in a particular photo. So if you upload that particular photo, then you can extract the words. Yeah, I think. So this work, I think yesterday, so I would say. Yeah, I think there is a problem. This side. So I will check and I will give you an update. If you want to, let's say if you want to use this model CTS, even voice text as well. So you can text me or you can put the email. So then for your projects, your let's say your group projects, you can use this one. So then it will be more interactive, right? Uh, so artificial neural networks. So after uh, those rule based and all, then actually I think ChatGPT were trend in 2019, I guess, and after 2006 or something, these neural networks came to the picture and having more than accuracy compared with those statistical models. And now there are other areas that sell these neural network technologies. Now there are transfer learning technologies and retraining metadata. So there are several such technologies. And you can even create some models to play chess. So likewise, so there were some game name. The name is I remember Go. So Go is has more than possibilities and compared to the chess. So in there actually we can't uh, give you exact meaning, right? So humans also and the computer also need to predict or to be able to identify some kind of future. Yeah, we take this then we have a more chance, right? So in Go, some of the models are created. So actually the one particular model is able to beat the human experts as well, right? So that's why these models are even capable of exceeding the human capability. So here it use patterns. So the fourth point. So these models use patterns instead of then else that we are used in the expert system. So in expert system, I say they are working rules and facts. But here they are can identify patterns. So they are created on based on the input and output. So these are some of the areas that we are using even predicting those binary option values. So there are several areas that are using neural networks. So I think you can learn more than this by using your doing self-learning. So with this help of this neural network, so now the natural language processing, so that is NLP, where after 2019 with those large language models, now this NLP is come to the picture. So all the application, speech recognition, machine translation, where we can translate one particular language to another. So that one, and text to speech and conversational AI, where those ChatGPT and all are there. So those are comes with this umbrella category named NLP, natural language processing. Here, what we are doing is we are trying to communicate with the computer by using our own language. So now in before 2019, so these were under the picture where we like not going to be very accurate. Even the currently the speech recognition system, those are not that 100% perfect. So current our system, my system is has a 35%. Google has 36% in single language, and let's say for English and those other languages, those that element is single language, right? So we are able to reduce that particular line. And another thing, now Google has done it for, let's say, Sri Lankan English speakers, right? So if you take the particular languages, there are several accent aspects. So in English, there are British accent, like Indian has some separate accent where they say very, very, right? Because you know, they not more use R sound. So Sri Lankan has a different kind of accent. So now I think Google can able to really identify our accent as well, but there are no particular models that are created by public domain, like researchers in Sri Lanka for that particular problem. For that means Sri Lankan English, right? So maybe in a both time you can do such project. So as I mentioned, translation inference to database, interface to database. All right. So I think I have mentioned particular when I'm doing the databases. So I mentioned there's a name vector DBs, right? I may have given vector DBs. No, you can find out there is a concept called vector DB. So in vector DB, it includes those semantics, that means the whole sentence as a vector, right? So let's again අපි begin that අපි so we කතා කරන වාක්‍ය, the sentence that we are talking to those models should be in some kind of a vector formation, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක vector එකක් විදිහට තියෙනවා. vector එකක් කියන්නේ ධර්මනේ දැනෙන්නේ. We are usually using one dimensional vector to that is measurement models. කියන්නේ එක dimension එකයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒකේ ගොඩාක් parameters තියෙනවා. Right? In vector DBs, we are what we are doing is we are storing those semantics, that means those sentences as a vector. කියන්නේ අපි ඔය කතා කරන මේ වාක්‍ය ඒක vector එකක් විදිහට තමයි තියෙන්නේ. කියන්නේ ඉලක්කම් වලින් තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි තියෙන වාක්‍ය. Right? So if we can ask particular let's say අපි මොකක් හරි වාක්‍යයක් අහනවා. We are asking a particular sentence. So then it will convert by using those algorithms. It will convert to that particular vector, and we can do the vector multiplication and all by using those vector DBs, right? Can appear vector එකම තමයි then use කරන්න අර vector DB එකේ මොනවාරි හොයන්න. එතකොට ඒකෙන් අපිට matrix multiplication සේව කරලා we can retrieve a particular vector that has the corresponding answer to our question. So our question also convert to a vector that and we are get the answer for you by using those vector DBs, and vector DB will retrieve a particular vector, right? So if we convert into a word form, then that particular vector will have the clear answer to our problem, right? And to some extent. So so what that means is now we can interact with the machine by using those vector DBs and those algorithms in by using the mathematical function like matrix multiplication and all, right? So that's why now we are storing those data as a vector form. vector form එකෙන්ම අපි ඒවා දැන් store කරනවා. ඒවා කෙලින්ම මේ machine learning models මේවා train කරන්න කෙලින්ම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So ඒ කියන්නේ ඒවලට ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එකක් ඕනේ. ඒතකොට ඒ ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එකයි ඒ දේවල් ඔක්කොම මේ vector DB එකේ include කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? So this is the voice interaction conversational AI and generated text automated production of standard documents, and by using standard stable diffusion you can now even create images as, right? මම Midjourney, Blue Willow ඒවා පාවිච්චි කරලා ඇතිනේ. So they also comes under this NLP. So Blue Willow, those are NLP and both image recognition. So NLP will act as an interface, so to communicate with the machine. Knowledge accuracy using computers to read large amount of text and understand information well enough. Right. So those are some videos. Right. So those ChatGPT, Bard, Llama. So those are large language models. So I keep saying the large language model or the NLP were been a trend after 2019. So actually what happened was there was a research paper by, I remember, by Google, name attention is all you need, right? So it's not the particular attention that means you need to be attentive or keep a clear idea. It's not that case. So if you learn or want to learn about deep learning techniques and you have some kind of interesting, so you can go and learn about transform architecture. So GPT is generative pre-trained transform. That's what that particular neural network is about. So transformer were introduced in 2019. In that particular paper, attention is all you need, right? So if you're interested, please go and read about that article. So in that article, it mentioned how this GPT model is about and all, right? And after that, those OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, they were able to create these kind of large language with the help of the transformer model. So it is a transforming the information. It's the now trend. And ChatGPT, Llama, but are now in the revolution. And so it is a neural network based on, as I mentioned. So transformer is the such application. So there are several others. So for my voice recognition application, I use neural networks, and there are LSTM, closer, and there are many more. So actually, what will happen is the predicting the next word. So how actually these are trained? So we use for the text, right? Yeah, how first we pass the first word of the text, and we have to create the next, right? Then we pass the first two words and after the third like always predicting the next word. So in that particular way, we have predict actually all things. So how we are going to have the name? Predict we can predict the end of the sentence, end of the sentence simple, right? So so there are these two terms, natural language understanding and natural language generation. Understanding is they are able to understand our languages, and natural language generation means after understanding, then the model is capable of generating. That means the predicting the answer in the natural language format. So that happen like NLU and NLG, natural language understanding and language generation. So they can do these stuff. Translation, that means translate into another language also can be done. Sentiment analysis. Do you know this sentiment analysis? Never heard. Sentiment analysis කියන එක අහලා තියෙනවද? මේ ඒ කියන්නේ Facebook එකේම දැකලා තියෙනවද මේ මොකක් හරි දැම්මහම ඒක අර මේ හොඳද නරකද sexual content ද violence ද එහෙම කියලා දානවා, right? So that is sentiment analysis. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට mainlyම එන ඔයාලට පටන් ගන්න හොඳම එක තමයි good or bad, right? So let's say spam එකක්ද නැද්ද, ඒ කියන්නේ we are checking the content and if we can predict it is spam or not, good or bad, hate speech or not. So those are actually the sentiment analysis and summarization, right? That means we put the whole the text and we can get some summarized answer, right? That also can done very easy. So it's not about the large language models. So there are some other tools that can do these tasks. The benefit is those tasks can be done in the some remarkable accuracy. That means before this ChatGPT era, that means large language model era, actually the PhD students are doing those tasks, sentiment analysis, summarization, translation, right? So after introducing this one, so they capable of doing those tasks in some accuracy. Respect to the accuracy over expected the state that is there. So actually the PhD students are able to using a thesis because automatically able to run the same task with more accuracy. So that was some particular problem like that. Okay. So there is one that so that problem is also there. That means those companies are able to do the same tasks with very efficiently and very accurately, but with our capacity. And those machines are, it's very hard to achieve those. And even we can't train those GPT models inside the normal machine. So these are some application decision making chatbots, knowledge management, generate content. So prompt engineering also there. So now with the help of this LLM, you can understand and even get a personalized recommendation. So they have more accuracy. So it's very easy to now search and get a exact or some relevant output with the help of these things. So these are some challenges as I mentioned, ethical consideration. So potential misuse are there. And these large language models may be biased. So that's also a problem. And this one data privacy concern. That means we are putting our sensitive informations to that model. So if someone able to find out the way to attack those neural network and retrieve those information, then it will be very bad. So there are some research are also ongoing. So one such area is robust and trustworthy ML. So where in through the goal of that researchers is to find out how actually these models are giving that particular answer. So it is one particular area. So you cannot actually see environmental impact due to these computational resources, right? So you can see now. So we can do like all the thing by talking to the chat GPT, right? It is very small interface and you can just need to be that, right? But you ever consider what are how the computational power required to run such models, right? Even though OpenAI borrowing that computational power from the Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft, what they have done is they are have the rights to use those models. and give access to their cloud computer resources to run their particular models. And they make unavailable so that is one another area. So where so what how we are going to reduce that computational power and able to run those models inside our machine. So those are another area that is currently in a trendy, right? So last but not least is the future. So from my perspective, the future will be these multimodal technologies where these LLMs and those image recognition robotics all integrating to create data, some particular applications and it should be for very general. So currently the activity is very general. Right? So it's better to be domain specific, let's say for healthcare or data. So it is very domain specific. You can do very accurate. So you can search to what are the websites and all. So I think it is so on. I also introduced as a when we are the those what they say those AI models should not be used by those like Google and so the RPX and should be freely available for all of us and we should know completely fast and those are no AI models are only available for such and they like other future was by so that's why they told it should be freely available and having spaces such community. They have those data and all also available. So we can go. So yeah, this is the end of this lecture. So do you have any questions? No, no questions. Can I? Most of you have, I think, going to hear industry also engineers and all, right? So I'm not sure that I am using because if you go to those industries, so there are some of the areas like data only those areas are currently with these technologies, right? So normally software engineers are going to use this one because there are some technologies and all like that. They are actually selecting what you want. So companies not sure they are not going to use those information that is there is the yeah, actually use these like mobile to code the for their programs and all they are using this so then they uh, compared to the programmers that you done all the thing from the very beginning. So these models, let's say, type just the commit, then the whole of the code is going to go into the Excel. So that means it's very fast. So there are some other drawbacks also. That means the QA has more tasks. So that means there are different tasks. So that is also another problem. So not sure about the future, but especially in the future, these large language models and those AI models will do some major contribution. So thank you, students. Thank you for coming. So students from the Zoom, do you have any questions? You can put into the chat, or otherwise we can conclude the session. Okay, I think we can conclude the session. So thank you, students. Thank you for coming.